So if you're an entrepreneur or a video editor in school and you're trying to build something on the side, you will probably know this feeling where you get home, you sit down and you're thinking that you're gonna get some work done, but then the entire afternoon and evening suddenly disappears and you had made no progress at all. This was me a few months ago, and it was really frustrating because I wasn't slacking, I wasn't avoiding work. I tried my best, but I still felt behind. So for some context, my name is Harry. I'm 13-year-old and I'm currently studying in middle school, and at the same time I am editing for some of the biggest guys in the space, and I'm also running a coaching program where I help other editors scale. And during summer 2025, everything felt easy. I was productive, I had time, I had momentum, and I felt like I was progressing every single day. Then school started again and everything changed. I have 8 hours of classes, and by the time I got home, I felt really tired, like I was really burnt out. But I still got that feeling, that pressure to work. I would open my laptop and thinking I needed to log in for a few hours. But then 3 or 4 hours later, I realized that I didn't do anything that is really important. And if you're someone like me struggling with time management and productivity, if this situation and problem keeps happening, then what happens in school will slowly kill your momentum without you even noticing. You stay busy, you stay stressed, and you keep telling yourself that you will figure it out later, but weeks and months went by and nothing really changes. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through the exact system I use to manage everything, how I balance between business and school without burning out, without sacrificing sleep, and without relying on motivation. Before I touch on my calendar, my routines, or how I structure my day, let's talk about energy and what you consume, because you literally cannot sit down and be focused if you are exhausted. Like, no productivity hack will save you. Before I came home from a long day of school, I didn't drink any water. I ate some snacks and then I scroll on my phone, and then I came straight to work and expect I would focus. It just didn't work. So I became intentional with what I consume. For food, I just eat real food with one ingredient only. Things like beef, eggs, rice, or whatever my mom cooks me, but I would always make sure that they are natural food, right? Because whenever I eat McDonald's or KFC or fast food, processed food, it just makes me feel really lazy and my brain is just foggy, and basically the entire day is ruined. So make sure you only eat food with one ingredient, right? Another thing as well is staying hydrated and drink a lot of water throughout the day. And there's a real science reason for this. Your brain and nervous system run on electrical signals, and those signals rely on electrolytes. So when you are dehydrated or eating trash, those signals slow down and it would make your thinking slower. This also applies to what you consume mentally. If you're scrolling on TikTok and Instagram before you work, you literally destroy your focus before you even start working. So don't even dare to scroll before you work. Like, when you come home, you eat a light meal, a simple meal of ground beef, and then you wanna come to work with a really focused state. This alone helped a lot, but it still didn't fix everything, because energy doesn't matter if you don't know what you are supposed to work on. One of the biggest game changers so far for me is planning my next day on Google Calendar the night before. Every night around 9 p.m. I open Google Calendar and plan out the next day. School, workout, meals, work blocks, and everything. I label them clearly so I know exactly what each block is for. The reason I do this is because when I wake up, I don't think about anything. I just know what I'm going to do. This matters way more than people think, because by me making decisions throughout the day, it drains my energy a lot. And every time you ask yourself, well, what should I work on next? You're literally burning your mental fuel, bro. If you wake up confused, you are already behind before the day even starts. Once I started planning everything consistently, I stopped wasting hours on thinking what I need to do next. I just sit down, look at my Google Calendar, and execute. But even with a plan, there's one mistake that ruins most of your days. This is where the concept of eating the frog comes in. If you were to given a frog in a meal in front of you, in front of the table, and you have two options. You either eat the frog first and then eat the delicious meal, or you keep it for later and you eat the delicious meal and then eat the frog. Which option would you choose? You will most likely choose the first one, to eat the frog and just pass it there and then enjoy the delicious meal. You don't wanna eat all the nice things, the delicious meal, and then save the worst thing, the hardest decision to the last. The same thing applies to school and business. If you save the hardest task for later, you're gonna stress all day. You're gonna go through your day with about thinking about the task, you procrastinate, and by the time you have to do the task, like your energy is gone. Your energy is highest in the morning and lowest at night. So I always choose to knock out the hardest task in the morning first, like editing, scripting, filming content, or studying. Whatever it is, I do it early. Once it's done, everything feels lighter. Everything is more chill because you're not carrying that mental weight around all day. This one change reduced my procrastination a lot because I stopped avoiding the work that I knew I had to do. Now let me show you how I actually execute when I sit down. When I work, I only work in deep work blocks. It basically means a period where you only focus on one thing at a time and you're really focused on that thing. Some things you can set up for your next deep work session, which are make sure that your working environment is organized and optimized for focus. So for example, for me, I have my desk right here with my setup. I have my water bottles, mouse, screen, and keyboard, right? And then my headphone. Just it, bro. And I don't want some random papers and clothes all around anywhere, all around the place. I just keep them organized and I make my bed, right? So whenever I got to work, bro, I just get to work and yeah, ready for the battle. Another thing as well is removing the biggest distraction, which is my phone, right? I put it in another room. I don't just put it on my desk and on D&D. No, I used to do that, but I still call myself scrolling. So I put it in another room, right? Because like when you put your phone in another room, when you're working and you want to scroll, you're not gonna stand up and then come to another room and then scroll and then put it out, come back to work. No, right? So another thing is that I only have one tab open while I'm working. I fucking hate multitasking, bro. Like when you do multitask, you actually get that feeling of doing so many things and getting a lot of things done. But at the end of the day, you don't really get anything done because you don't focus on one thing. So I only have one tab open. If I'm cutting, I only have Premiere Pro or DaVinci. If I'm doing visuals, if I'm outreaching to clients, if I scripting, filming content, I only have one tab open. Having multiple tasks while you're working is like having your phone on your desk. It kills all the focus and the momentum. And remember to always recharge yourself after each deep work session. So for me, after each deep work session of 2 hours, then I will go for a walk. I will hit a light workout. I will talk to my family. Just do something that really relax my eyes and reset my brain. I see a lot of people writing 10 to 12 hours a day, and like straight from the moment they wake up till they go to sleep and they think that recharging is not important, but it is arguably one of the most important things when it comes to productivity. Because when you work 10 hours a day, I mean, it requires you a lot of discipline to do that, right? But it also requires you the discipline to stop working and just relax yourself. When you go for work for 30 minutes, like between deep work sessions, you will come back way more stronger and productive instead of just working 10 hours straight. That will cause you burnout and lose momentum in the long term, and you will slowly hate the work that you're doing. So remember to always recharge yourself. Let's have a recap on this video. Definitely look at everything I've talked about in this video. First one is energy. Be very intentional and careful with what you consume. Second is planning out your next day. Then eat the frog. Deep work sessions, don't even multitasking. Don't do multitasking. Just focus on one thing at a time and then recharge yourself. And if you implement all these things, I promise you, life as an entrepreneur in school will get way more easier. See ya.